Well, good morning, everyone. Sorry if my voice sounds like I just got out of bed, but I kind of did. Hope you had a good Father's Day. It is Monday morning, and I am sitting in the backyard, and I'm gonna do a process video. I've had a number of people ask me for that, and so I'm just going to paint one of my little floral paintings, and you can watch what I do. I may jump in with some commentary, I may not. Anyways, just so you know, I am using gouache paints, and I have them in this container. I like to have a lot of colors available. I have my favorites in here, and then I mix as I go. You may have noticed that I do a lot of mixing on the paper. Oops, now we're all blurry. I do a lot of mixing on the painting. So I mix a little bit off camera, but mostly I just do little bits here and there on the paper. So another thing people have asked me is I paint so many little small florals. These are all hand painted cards, and I sell a lot of them in a lot of different places, and I don't do prints. I do actual original hand painted cards. So when I have a spare minute, I paint some up, and I love them. I think people love the texture and the colors, and not everybody is into original art, but everybody is into pretty flowers, and I think this just kind of opens up the world of original art to people. So anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and paint. Sometimes I start with dark colors, sometimes I start with light colors, because with gouache you can do that. For those of you who don't know what gouache is, and that's Gouache, gouache is a water media, and it's very opaque, which means you can't see through it. It's not transparent like a watercolor, but it's similar to watercolor. So it's kind of like a cross between watercolors and creamy acrylics or oils. So anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and start, and I think today I'm starting with my darker greens, and you can just watch while I paint. If you have questions or don't know what I'm doing or why, you can of course add comments, and I will answer. I have a very loose style. I don't really plan things out. With the little cards, I don't really need to, because I do them so often, and they're just little minis that are cute and fun. Gouache will dry very fast, so anyways, it just dries really fast. Now the cool thing with gouache is once it dries, I don't know if any of these are dry yet. Yeah, that's pretty much dry there. I can take a wet brush and just kind of still move it around. Now with watercolors you can't do that, but gouache you can go back and hit it with a wet brush or another color and move it around. I love to work in a lot of different mediums. I get bored just doing one, or sometimes if I'm just struggling and things don't seem to be coming together, what works for me is to switch mediums. And that's how I got started in gouache. I was just kind of, I'd done watercolors and I had done a lot of acrylics. I do have to say I struggle with oils more than any other medium. But anyways, I tried gouache on a whim, and I do have to say I kind of struggled with it at first. I just didn't get it, didn't like it, and then something clicked, and now I love it. It's kind of my go-to happy place. So filming tutorials and doing my little videos that I do every day has kind of, the whole technical side of things is challenging, and it makes it hard to actually see what I'm painting, because I've got the camera stand right in front of me. So anyways, if you were to ask me why I choose certain colors to put on at certain times, I just do. I don't really pre-think it. I am sitting out back, so you may be able to hear cars go by. I'm trying to get this done before the trash trucks come. It's Monday, so Monday is trash day, and the trash trucks are really, really loud. Anyways, hopefully I can get this little painting done, and then I'll get this posted a little bit later. I apologize for the poor quality. I apologize for, gosh, on these YouTube videos, I'm just learning, so I'm kind of challenged when it comes to posting things there on YouTube. And anyways, I'll get better. Practice makes perfect, right? I almost always seem to put in a little vase just because I like to paint little vases. If I were to critique my own painting, I would say I overdo it. I don't even want to say sometimes, almost all the time. I fill up the paper just because I like to. What do you think so far? Painting is really just trial and error. Don't take yourself too seriously. Just put paint on paper and have fun. Everything doesn't have to be a masterpiece. I think just paint for yourself. I think it's important to show your work. That has never been a problem for me. I've always posted just about everything I paint. And for me, it just makes me feel free. If I can post something that may or may not be what I would call perfect, that's okay. And so I'm not always that way in other areas of my life, like with me. Sometimes I want things, I'm self-critical, but not with painting, not with art. And actually that's carried over into everything else. I've become less self-critical. Artists always say, oh, I'm my own worst critic and I don't like anything I paint. I'm not that way. I like everything I paint. I think it's because I started so late in life, and I'm just kind of amazed that I can make anything look good. Having had no background, no real training. Should I be crazy with this one and skip the vase, or do you want to see a vase? I kind of put something in on the bottom that could be grass, but let's do a little vasey thing. No, I don't know. No, let's not. Oh, yeah, let's. And that really is my thought process when I'm painting. Should I? No, I don't know. Okay, do it. I can take it out or cover it up. Or it's just a painting. It'll look good or it'll look bad. I am using, I don't know what this brush is called. It's a dagger striper, dagger striper. And it's a 1/4 inch, and it's just from Hobby Lobby. And I mostly have cheap brushes. I don't have good brushes. I'm rough on brushes. I drop them, run over them with a car sometimes if they drop in the driveway. I leave them sitting in water. For me, that works. I would rather just when, for instance, at Hobby Lobby, when it's half price on brushes, I'll just pick up a couple of my favorites and don't worry about it too much. And I never throw away old brushes, because even if I've used it, pretty much destroyed it, it can still be used to make marks of a different kind somewhere else. But for flowers, I love this little dagger striper. You can see I'm just kind of screwing around here. Yay us, so far we've made it through with no trash trucks. I will say this, I kind of hate mixing colors. Some people love that part of the process. I do not. That's why I think I do it on my paintings, which can be dangerous because you can end up with mud, which has happened a fair amount. I'm kind of an impatient person. I'm instant gratification. I want it now. So when I sit down to paint, I want to paint. I don't want to spend a ton of time mixing colors and seeing what works. I do that as I go, I guess. Part of that is because I still work full time. So I work about 45 hours a week. And I find I have to paint in small little snippets. And that just works for me. I think even if I didn't have a full-time job, I would paint that way because it's just my personality. It's my habit now. It's my process. I usually paint before I go to bed. Sometimes actually in bed. I've always got a little, few little paints next to the bedstand, and I have literally fallen asleep with a paintbrush in my hand and a little painting in front of me. Yeah. So anyways, I don't know if this is helping you, just to see how it's little bits and pieces of dabs, and like up here, I'm not even adding color, I'm just kind of cleaning my brush off. And sometimes that just gives cool looking marks. Just play around with things. I'm not sure what's on sale at Hobby Lobby this week. I'll have to check, but they alternate every week. They've got about 4 different cycles. So one week, brushes, like all their Master's Touch brushes and papers will be on sale at 50% off. And then the next week, they'll have a different part of the store, like the floral or whatever, be on sale. And it rotates. You guys probably know that. I just kind of figured that out this year. It's like, oh, it's not a random thing. It's a cycle that they go on. Anyways, I think this one's about done. Possibly. Now, gouache dries so fast. I can go in and make some marks with a pen or a marker. I don't know why I'm doing this, I just am. So even though some of this is a little bit damp, I can still there. I think I'm almost done. Just screwing around. Don't be afraid to start your painting. Start by painting small. Sometimes we get overwhelmed with not wanting to waste a canvas, or, I get that way. Sometimes I don't want to paint because I paint so much, and then I have a bunch of stuff stacked up, and I feel like, ugh, I'm never going to get rid of this. So I don't want to add more clutter to my house, and so that holds me back from painting. And that's why I started painting smaller, and then also in journals. And I'm going to do another tutorial. I don't know if it's tutorial is kind of a strong word. I'm going to do another process video on art journals and what's helped me, what's held me back, and sketchbooks. You can see how I'm re-wetting the ink that I put on here. I better stop before I wreck it. Anyways, I think that's all. Hopefully this was helpful, and I don't know. We'll see what we see. Have a great day, and hopefully you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe. You can, I don't know if you can share on YouTube, but anyways, have a great day. Bye.